everyone, and welcome to episode number 7 of my Dumb Little Wrestling Podcast. Today's topic, as you can tell, especially by the videos I've uploaded the past couple days, we got NXT Great American Bash, baby. Let's go. I went there live and in person, Cedar Park, Texas. It was a fun show. A solid over 2 hours of some good old wrestling. Good wrestling stuff. It was a great show. I went there live, and the arena, first notes, it was smaller than I thought. I thought I'd have good seats, but it was a bit smaller than I thought, so what I thought were going to be pretty good seats were actually, really good seats. From the videos you could see, I was, just a little bit off the floor, got a good view of the ring, and yeah, and the setup was nice. They had, the old school, the star above the entrance ramp. So simple, but, a nod to the past Great American Bash events, so it was very nice. And the kickoff, we had the pre-show. We had a 8-person tag match. We had Team Nathan Frazier against Team Meta 4, and fun little match, nothing too crazy. Everybody got some moves in. Nathan Frazier and the gang won. Solid match. I don't keep up with NXT too much, but I recognize a good chunk of the people in this opening match. Meta 4, not too huge on him, but I like Noam Dar. And Ora Mensa, I think, is his name. He was popping off in that match, so good for him. But yeah, nice little kickoff. And then we got into the main show. We had Tony D'Angelo and Stax trying to win them NXT Tag Team Championships against Gallus. Gallus boys on top. And they won. Stax and Tony D'Angelo, they won the match. Very nice. When the Titantron, or the whole, big screen was just, filled with rats for, the split, 5 seconds, I was like, who the hell is this? Why are there a bunch of rats on the screen? And it was, Tony D'Angelo and Stax, so that was, that caught me off guard a little bit. But it was a fun tag match. I haven't watched the show back yet, so, I don't know what all was shown, what all might have been advertised, anything like that. I didn't take any notes because obviously I was there live. I didn't want to open up my phone every 2 seconds to type stuff down. Instead, I took some lovely little videos that you can watch on the channel. Highlight of, all the stuff that happened, and a separate little video of Dom retaining his North American title. But we'll go to that. We'll get to that later. That's midway through the show. But tag match was fun. Kicked off the night with 8-man tag and a normal tag team match. So good tag team match and action to start off. My friend drove me there. We went. He got better seats since, he likes the floor seats, and the pricing was good, so he snapped those, and I just sat in my seats. And he was 2 rows behind commentators. If you knew what he looked like, you'd probably see him. I don't know if he has watched it back himself yet. I don't think he has yet. Speaking of watching stuff back, just stray away from Great American Bash for a little bit, I watched the Cody Rhodes, Becoming Cody Rhodes, American Nightmare, whatever the heck it's called, documentary on Peacock. You know what? That was a solid documentary. It wasn't for, the typical wrestling fan. It was kind of styled where, everything was explained to where a non-wrestling fan watching it would understand. And it was good. He talked about his dad a lot. Very heartwarming, very, emotional stuff there. And the big takeaway from it, though, is, number one, good documentary. I'd watch it again later on. If it were to just pop on TV, and I was like, hey, the Cody documentary's on, I'd watch it again. But also, it just makes me wish Cody won at WrestleMania just a little bit more, and I still think it's silly that he didn't. But yeah, that was a good documentary. But I will eventually watch Great American Bash back. I just, want to take a little break from the wrestling. I didn't watch NXT tonight either. I'm recording this, at midnight, so NXT just ended a few hours ago. Some notable stuff that I saw on Twitter or X or whatever the hell. Trick Williams, he's like, hey, I'm gonna go my own way, and Carmelo's like, okay, cool, man. No betrayal or nothing, so that was cool. That was nice to see. I think there was something with Cora Jade where she said she was leaving or something. I saw a headline about that, so that's interesting. So, NXT seemed like it was an alright show. I know Dijak and Eddie Thorpe were on there. But yeah, the tag match was Stax and D'Angelo winning the tag titles was nice. The finish was cool, where Tony D'Angelo used that thing, that, I think it's a little mini bat or whatever. I don't even know. Yeah. Oh, he clocked him with a crowbar, it says on WWE's website. I'm reading some notes just in case there were some things I didn't see. But they hit him with the bada boom, bada bing, and, you know, apparently that's what their finisher's called. But very nice. A part of me thought they would win, but another part of me thought that I think Gallus are going to retain here. So I wasn't really sure which way they were going to go, so it's nice semi-shock to kick off the main card. So I liked it. It was a good match. Stacks has been improving every time I've seen it on TV, and he did good in this match for, like, you know, being fairly new. So good for Stacks, good for Tony D. Everyone was doing, like, the Italian hands. I know I was. So that was a lot of fun. But we're going to move on to a Weapons Wild match here. We had Roxanne Perez, home state of Texas, against Blair Davenport. Weapons Wild match. And I knew it wasn't going to be, like, crazy, like, violent or nothing. But, like, I feel like, you know, it was, what were the weapons used? I think there was a... What was there used? I think there was a table, trash can, chair, maybe I think a belt at one point, and then was there a cowbell? I think, am I remembering something wrong here? I think there was, I don't know. But yeah. Oh yeah, one thing to note, I was recording Roxanne's entrance because I was maybe gonna upload that like clip on its own, be like Roxanne Perez, entrance in her home state of Texas, Great American Bash, yada yada. But during her entrance, she was hugging her sister and, who else was there? Was it her sister and her mother? Little sister, wait, little sister who was sitting ringside. Oh, I guess it was just a sister, alright, I didn't know who it was. But I could tell, like, the youngest one was, like, a little sister. Which, you know, Blair was being a real prick to them, bro. Making them cry and shit. Oh, my God. So, yeah. Roxanne Perez got attacked by Blair Davenport mid-entrance. She was wearing a hoodie in the crowd. Got it. Kicked off hot. Roxanne Perez brought out a trash can. Or I believe Blair Davenport got the trash can. This is hard because I didn't take any notes. And I should have watched some of my, like, videos back. But I know Roxanne Perez went for an outside dive. Got bonked in the head with the trash can. Blair Davenport grabbed the chairs that were at ringside. Whack, whack. Threw the chairs in the ring. There was a pile of chairs in the ring. And that eventually led to the finish of the match. But we saw Roxanne get slammed onto a trash can. Front face suplex, it seemed. Table spot on the outside. The ring where, like, you know, where I couldn't see all that well is where they did, like, the belt spots where I believe, like, she wrapped her wrist with the belt and flung her into the barricade. I think both of them did that to one another. Roxanne hit a nasty knee. I didn't see it because of where I was sitting, but, like, Blair was against the steel steps, and you could hear that boom as her knee, like, hit Blair and the steel steps. So that was loud. But yeah, we had the splash through the table, back into the ring, and the, I think it's called Pop Rocks, I believe it's called. I don't know. But in the middle, where all the chairs were, solid little match. Nothing crazy, but it was a fun match. I wouldn't mind watching that back, for sure. If I were only going to catch some of the highlights, which, if I watch it back, I'm going to watch the full show. But if I had to pick a couple highlight fun matches, I'd say this is one of them. But I kind of wish it was a bit more. Not violent, I don't want anyone to get hurt, but I don't know. Like, they were attacking each other, like, in the store and whatnot. But I think the big story of this was Roxanne has more of an edge to her, and her sister was in the front row, so it's like, show them quite a bit. But now we're moving on. The crowd were hot for this one, maybe for the wrong reason. But we had Gable Steveson making his debut against Baron Corbin, who was indeed gonna burn them ships down. New song, new, I guess, not really gimmick, but his, like, tagline or whatever, like, burn the ships. This match was probably not worst match of the night, but, like, yeah, probably worst match of the night. It ended in a double countout. The crowd did not like Gable Steveson. Half of them were probably trolling. Half of them were, you know, probably thinking like, oh, you did some naughty things, Gable. You did some not so cool things. And the other portion were probably, you know, you had the you're not angle chants, which I didn't chant those because I don't want to be like, I don't want to ruin somebody's debut, but at the same time, you know, I don't care. He's done nothing to make me really care about him. He's been a part of WWE. He's been signed for like 3 years, maybe, and he's done fuck all. Excuse my French, but you know, he's done nothing. And I like Baron Corbin, so I was chanting Baron Corbin. Corbin didn't really acknowledge it. He was kind of just looking around like, okay. And yeah, it ended in a 10 count. Outside, I didn't even hear the referees counting because I think everybody was clapping or booing Gable. They were fighting by the announce table. And then, yeah, as soon as I heard 10 and then ding, 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 I was like, wait, what? And so, yeah, a lot of bullshit chants. Gable and Corbin brawled a bit. Gable took out some referees and officials or whatever. So that's like, ooh. Or security, I think they might have been. They did a nice little suplex of Baron Corbin, who got crushed, or not crushed, but kind of like knocked over the barricade. So that was, I guess, something. But yeah, highlight of the match was probably the crowd. Not gonna lie. The funny little "you're not" angle chants. Anytime Gable tried to like go like, I'm Gable Stevenson, the crowd were like, boo, get the hell out of here, get the hell out of here. So yeah, I wonder if they're gonna turn him heel because of that reaction, or if they're just gonna like ignore the fact like, oh yeah, the crowd weren't happy with Gable, but oh well, he's still our guy. So yeah, Gable didn't look too impressed afterwards when like the lights went down or like when the screen shut off. I guess assuming they maybe went to a commercial or something. But Gable kind of looked around like, huh, okay. So that was that match. Yeah, crowd were loud, but now we got probably second, tied for my favorite match of the night. I think second favorite match of the night. North American Championship, Triple Threat, Dirty Dom Mysterio, Wesley, Mustafa Ali. What a fun Triple Threat match. It wasn't crazy, but at the same time, it had just enough to make it a very fun match. Midway or halfway through the match, Mustafa Ali went for like a 450 splash while Wesley and Dominic were like laying on the bottom rope on the apron. Like, first of all, what? And second of all, he missed. They moved out the way, and he was out of it for a while. I thought he got hurt, like low key, because he hit like his hand hit the rope and then his knee hit the apron, and then he rolled to the floor again on the side of the ring where I couldn't really see. So he was just kind of like out of my view for like the last half of that match until he came back at the very end. I don't know if that was planned or maybe he did get banged up a tiny bit but wanted to like do his finishing spot. I don't know, but there was a lot of shenanigans with Rhea Ripley and Wes Lee. But we'll get to that in a little bit. We had at the beginning, Dom was like, I'm going to leave, but Mustafa blocked one way. Wes Lee came out the other way. They were both double teaming on Dom. Then they kind of got in each other's way, inadvertently hitting Dom with some chops. And they had a nice little brief moment between Mustafa and Wes Lee. Both of them had a nice little moment there, going back and forth. Dominic came back in, and, you know, after a bit, you got the 450, and then we have the Wes Lee and Rhea Ripley stuff. Wes Lee dives on Dom, goes back in the ring, I believe, and Rhea Ripley's like, hey, stop it. Don't touch my Dom. And Wesley's like, okay, I won't. And he said, psych! And he jumped over Rhea Ripley on the Dominic Mysterio. Very fun. Hopped over the Timekeeper's area, kind of like parkoured around Rhea Ripley. That was fun. Threw Dom in the ring. And then Rhea Ripley riptide. Oh my god. This caught me so off guard because I thought she was going to go for like just a normal move or maybe like just a slam. But then she went for riptide. I was like, oh damn. And then I saw her like, I realized, oh my god, she's going to put him through the announce table. And holy shit, she did. She put Wesley through that announce table. Wow. That was awesome as hell. I haven't watched a single clip from this like back. I've seen maybe Mafu from Botchamania post like the Gable Stevenson chants and whatnot. Other than that, I haven't seen like a clip. So yeah, I kind of regret not watching this back before recording this, but that seemed like it would look gnarly on camera. So yeah, Wesley kicked out though, got rolled back in the ring, 1-2 kick out. That was nice. So all's well and good with that. I feel like Wesley looked really good in this match. Probably besides Dom, obviously, because you knew Dom was going to get all the reactions and, probably retain. But if you take that aside, I think Wesley really, really had a good showing in this match. And then the end, we saw Dom go to top rope. Mustafa kicked him off, 450. Rhea said, stop it. And then Dom said, okay, I'll take advantage. Hit probably... I haven't seen every Dominic Mysterio frog splash, but that frog splash looked really nice. Someone in one of the comments of that video said it looked like a good frog splash, and yeah, I thought it was just me that was like, damn, he put in some more oomph to that than usual, it seemed. But yeah, very good finish, very fun. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of Dom, as I've said before. You know, I respect like how he's coming to his own and he has a character and he's getting all these reactions. Good for him. You know, I'm always glad when somebody succeeds at what they're doing. But you know, I'm not the biggest fan of Dom when he won the North American title. I was like, oh boy, I hope. I was actually a bit disappointed because like, oh, he just won the title. Surely he's not gonna have a match within a couple weeks at Great American Bash. But hey, they did a triple threat. Glad I got to see Mustafa and Wesley. Glad I got the boo Dom. I went to Monday Night Raw the next night. I got the boo Dom again. You know, I was telling my friend while we were driving, like, hey, we're so privileged. We get to see Dominic Mysterio wrestle 2 nights in a row. Aren't we so lucky? But yeah, fun triple threat match. But we're moving on to a good match, but disappointing. And disappointing for, like, the right reason. Like, you're supposed to feel a bit disappointed. But we have Thea Hail challenging Tiffany Stratton in a submission match for the NXT Women's Championship. And not really a peek behind the curtain, because I think everybody knows this is kind of what they do. But before the match was starting, guys were coming up the stairs, you know, in the stands, handing out the Chase U, like, little, like, white pieces of paper with the Chase U logo on it. I'm a big Chase U fan. And, like, they handed out the first few, and some dude behind me gave out the last, like, he got the last one in the first set, and he handed it to me because I was, like, reaching out, and he never handed me one, and I felt a little sad. But he handed it to me, and so that was cool. Appreciate that guy. But then they handed out a boatload more, and I think he got one, so glad he was able to get one. And I still have it. I'm looking at it right now. White piece of paper with the U logo. It's basic, but I love Chase U so much, so the fact that I got to, like, bring one home with me, very cool to have that little sign. You know, you see it for, like, the Bailey Hugger section, or the Cesaro section signs, you know, back in the day. But yeah, we have Tiffany Stratton, Thea Hail. I am a huge, like I said, Chase U fan, but I really, really love Thea Hail. I love her energy. She's so fun and funny to, like, watch. And, you know, her learning that Kimura lock, making Tiffany Stratton tap out twice. I was like, you know what? Tiffany's reign kind of just started. I don't expect her to lose. But damn, they were hyping up Thea Hail, bro. Like, doing all the, like, she's training as hard as hell. You know, a bit of me was like, you know what? They're gonna give it to her tonight. They're like, because I was telling my friend this, Tiffany Stratton just feels like a main roster star. Like, sure, she still, like, has a bit more to go in the NXT brand, but if she were to drop that title, like, today, like, whatever, and then move up to the main roster, within a month, I feel like she'll be in a good spot, if they book her right, obviously. But I think she's pretty much ready. Part of me might just be saying that because I really want Thea Hail to win here, but spoilers, you know, Thea Hail did not win. Another thing I brought up to my friend, or I think my friend brought up to me, he was saying, you know, Thea Hail has that submission hold, the Kimura lock, and Tiffany is kind of like, I don't think she has, like, really a signature submission or ever goes for a submission. So, like, oh, she's just going to pull something out of her ass and, like, end the match like that. But no. Right out of the gate, we saw some you know, attacks to the back of Thea Hail. Like a scissor, like, leg lock over the ribs and the back. Like, wrapping around like a cobra. No Santino Marella to be found. Lock Thea Hail in the Boston Crab for a long, long time. I know a bit, she kind of slipped out of it a couple times, but she held that thing in there for quite a while. She even did a nice tilt-a-whirl backbreaker that was nice. Thea Hail did a couple good arm drags. Nice cross-body, which I believe Tiffany countered. Thea did a nice dive to the outside. But in the end, we had that, if everything feels faster when you're there live, like a match that went, like, let's say 15 minutes, when you're there live, it feels like it's only been, like, 7 or 10. So that's, like, a good thing and a bad thing about going live, is, like, everything breezes by, but at the same time, everything breezes by. So, yeah. We had that Boston Crab locked in. Thea Hail is not tapping out. I didn't look at the screen too much, so I didn't, like, see any facial reactions. I saw Tiffany grab the rope when Thea had that one submission, and the crowd were chanting, "You tapped out." No, she didn't. You tapped out. I didn't see her tap out, but hey, if the crowd's gonna, you know, accuse Tiffany of tapping out and possibly losing that match, I'm for it. I want Thea Hail to win. Hell. But we had Chase, Mr. Chase, Andre Chase. He had a towel wrapped around his neck. I didn't notice it the first, like, 5 minutes, but as soon as I saw him, like, kind of, like, grab it throughout the match, just kind of, like, you know, slamming the ring mat, like, getting hyped up, I'm like, wait, Andre Chase doesn't usually carry a towel around his neck, does he? I'm like, oh, damn, they're gonna do a throw in the towel spot. They're either gonna, like, tease it and end up not doing it, or they're just gonna do it. And when he started grabbing that towel, and, oh, damn, man, my heart just sank. I'm like, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. And then he launched that towel, launched that sucker over the top rope into the ring. The referee's like, all right, ding, ding, ding. That just bummed me out. It was a solid match between the two. I feel like it could have been a bit better, but I'm not a big fan of submission matches because, you know, that's more like target a body part and then depending on the damage, we'll see who wins. By the way, shout out to Tiffany Stratton. Had the whole Barbie getup, the whole attire, had the hat, had the Barbie dream house playhouse thing behind her on the big screen. Loved it. Even during Raw, I guess during commercials, I don't know if they aired it like on TV, but they're like, this summer, something, whatever. And she's like, oh, expecting something plastic or whatever. It's like, oh, Barbie, yay. But yeah, and then, you know, her little toodles at the end of the commercial. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If not, I sound like a weirdo. But yeah, Tiffany Stratton does great work. I'm just really bummed that Thea Hail lost. I really like Thea Hail. Would have been cool to see her win this, because, like, choosing a submission match, making her tap out twice leading up to the show, you know, like, they're not going to have her just steamroll through Tiffany and have her lose. But a part of me really thought they were going to give it to Thea Hail. They were really hyping her up. So I don't know if they did anything on NXT tonight with Chase U. I hope there's not some dissension, because, you know, I think the big thinking process, or whatever the heck you want to say, the big thought is Duke Hudson, he's going to turn on Chase. I don't want that to happen, even though Duke as a monster heel would be nice, as long as he's not playing poker or cards or whatever the hell he was doing like a year ago. But damn, man, like I said, disappointed, but story-wise, rooting for the good guy to win. Didn't win. Evil prevails. Not that Tiffany's evil or nothing, you know, she's not evil. But yeah, it was a good match for the most part. Like I said, not a big fan of submission matches, but that's a me thing. Overall, I think they did a good job. And now, main event, match of the night. I don't know how long this match was. It felt like it went a bit quick, but at the same time, not really. Like, it felt like a normal length watching it live, but I'm sure it was probably about like a 20-something minute match. I don't know. But we had Carmelo Hayes defend his NXT Championship against Ilja Dragunov. Going into this, I wanted Dragunov to win. I like Carmelo Hayes, but Dragunov, you know, he just has that viciousness, that violentness, intensity. I like Ilja Dragunov. And I think his NXT UK World Title run got cut a bit short due to an injury, and then he moved to, like, you know, normal NXT. I think that's what happened. So part of me also is like, I want a good World Title run for Ilja Dragunov. And, you know, it was a fucking banger of a match. I thought Carmelo, it was like a bit one-sided. Carmelo Hayes was getting the shit slapped, chopped, clotheslined out of him, bro. Like, he fought back a bit, like, that first half. And then they would, like, move into, like, the signature, you know, trading big moves, bouncing off the ropes, hitting, like, a giant move, then knocking each other out for a bit. They did that, like, twice. Very nice stuff. Very good sequences. But dang, man, Carmelo was getting his ass whooped about, I want to say 60, 65, 70% of that match, it felt like. So, damn, RIP to his chest. There was one chop, I don't know who gave it to who, but there was one chop that echoed throughout the arena. I was like, that man's nipple was gone. I don't remember who, it was probably Ilja to Carmelo, but holy shit. I think, I couldn't tell if it was bleeding, but when Ilja was like holding his hand in the middle of the ring, that thing was bright red. At least that's what it looked like from my view. I was like, damn, Ilja, bro, you're chopping super hard. Your hand is bright red, boy. I thought his hand was bleeding. He was chopping him so hard he made his hand bleed. That would be another level right there. Gunther has some real competition if that's the case. I don't know if Gunther's hand ever bled from chopping someone so much, but I think it was just bright red. But a lot of nice moves. Ilja landed on his head a couple times, or like shoulders. He likes to sell things pretty crazily, it seems like. Some scary and also, like, goofy. The coast-to-coast into the code breaker was fantastic, but then, like, the legs pushing Ilja up some more, and he landed, like, on his, like, upper back. That was like, damn, he launched him, bro. That caught me off guard. Like, it was a sick move. And then there's one point, I think Carmelo did the springboard, like, back into the DDT. That's, like, the worrying, like, Ilja landing on his head, even though it seemed like he was fine afterwards. But I love that DDT that Carmelo does. That springboard, bounces back, DDT. Ilja sold that like a boss. So that was very good. Trick Williams, obviously at ringside, he had a nice little cowboy hat on, so that was cool. He looked fancy. And he was holding that NXT title towards the latter half of the match. It seems like he was telling Carmelo to use it. Use the title, man. Come on. Use the title. But Carmelo never did. But in a way, you know, the title did get involved in the end because we see Trick Williams and Carmelo kind of chilling by the announce table. Ilja runs, dives head first. Melo moves or he gets pushed by Trick or something. But Trick is still holding the NXT title. Ilja's head, it looked like it took a nasty little spill on top of that title and Trick himself. So, inadvertently getting knocked out by the title. He did it to himself, but at the same time, Trick was holding it, so, because they have been having problems the past couple weeks on NXT, Trick Williams and Dragunov. And so with that, Carmelo rolls him back in the ring. The huge top rope leg drop over the back of the head. 1, 2, 3, Carmelo Hayes retains his NXT title. Very hard-hitting match. You know, usually when we see Carmelo, he's like high-flying, fun, athletic, enjoyable match. I think this was the first match, at least that I've seen from Carmelo, but then again, I'm not a big NXT watcher the past couple years. But this seems like the most hard-hitting match that Carmelo's been a part of. I think that's probably why he took quite the beating, because he's never gone against an opponent like Ilja, where he's just throwing everything he has at you, throwing bombs at you. So maybe that's why they did it, to prove that Carmelo can hang, and that he is him, and he proved that he was him. But like I was saying, I wanted Ilja to win. I like both guys, but I really wanted to see Dragunov with that title. And just like Thea Hail and Tiffany match, there was a point where I'm like, you know what? They might do it. When Ilja was kicking Carmelo's ass that first, 10 minutes, I was like, oh my god. They might not, squash Melo, but they might have Ilja just overpower the crap out of him. But there you go! NXT Great American Bash was a long drive home. 3 hours, which, for a wrestling show that I would usually go to, usually they're only an hour away from my house. AEW and WWE. But, solid show. I liked it. I can't wait to watch it back. I just need to take a little bit of a break. So, yeah, I'll probably watch it maybe tomorrow while I'm working on something. I don't know. But it was a fun show. Every match, I think, delivered for the most part, except Gable, Steeps, and Baron Corbin. Crowd weren't in the Gable. I knew that from the get-go. I knew they were going to boo him. I didn't think it would be that, vocal. I feel like a bunch of people were kind of either going to be silent or they were going to go, boo, we don't like you. And they chose to be vocal about it, Wrestling fans are going to do what they do. But it was kind of funny. Let's not lie. It was a bit funny. Glad Baron Corbin got some love. I thought people would just mainly boo Gable and be like, hey, Corbin's there. He's better. We like him more. But no, he got some cheers. I'm glad Baron Corbin got a couple chants. Baron Corbin, a tad underrated. He's really good. So, and I hope they do something with the whole burn the ships thing. I don't know what exactly that means. I guess burn your past bridges and burn whatever and just not care. Sure. And other match I probably wasn't too big of a fan on would maybe Roxanne and Blair, only because I thought they were going to do a bit more, but they still did enough to where I'm fine with it. But other than that, solid show. If I had to give it a little bit of a rating, I'd say, because I was there live, I'm going to probably give it a 9 out of 10, but watching it back, it'd probably be a solid 8. So there you go, that's NXT Great American Bash, and, usually I ramble on for, the last 10 minutes or whatever to try to get it around 40. But you know what? I went to another wrestling show the next night, Monday Night Raw, do a little speedrun of that, main event. Spoilers for all you main event fans out there. We got Dana Brooke defeating Xia Li, which I didn't even know it was Xia Li because we never see her on TV, so when like that cartoonish backdrop hit, I'm like, who the hell is this? I thought it was Willow Nightingale at first because it was some stars with some clouds and like a dark blue background. I'm like, oh my god, Willow Nightingale has jumped ship. But no, it was Xia Li. Dana Brooke beat her. It's a main event match. Nothing crazy happened. Apollo versus Bronson Reed. I like Bronson, so cool to see him. Apollo, sadly, seems like he's been on main event the past month since the draft. It's they're doing nothing with Apollo. I kind of thought that was going to happen, and that sucks to see because he's really talented. But Bronson Reed beat Apollo. It was a more like competitive match than Brooke versus Ali. And yeah, that was main event. We were sitting up in the nosebleeds. But I'm not gonna lie, if you have this like idea of going to wrestling shows and be like, ooh, sitting all the way in like the top section, I don't think that's worth it. Honestly, the view ain't that bad at all. Especially where we sat. I never get seats. Like I'm always where the camera's looking at, like the first section up from the floor, slightly to the right. So I'm never on camera, or I'm a little too high to be on camera, but I'm always in that chunk. I've never been where I can see the entrance ramp like straight on, and I've never been in the nosebleeds, but you know, my friend paid for my ticket because he said better than sitting at home doing nothing, let's just do it. And that Toyota Center row pretty much sold out. There was a few seats where I was like, yeah, people arrived late, people were getting up, but for the most part that thing was pretty much packed. So that was cool. Raw was like, you know, the first bit kind of I didn't care for. I'm not a big Matt Riddle fan, but I do like Ludwig Kaiser, and I'm so glad he got the win over Matt Riddle. Very, very happy that he did do that. Logan Paul, Ricochet started off the night. The big punch I missed because people, you know, this is why you get there before the show starts. So I was taking a video of like Logan Paul and Ricochet. They were just starting to brawl. You know, Ricochet did that backflip, but people had to get to their seat, and we were like by the aisle, so we had to stand up and all that spiel. So, you know, I missed that. I watched that little segment back. He did the one lucky punch, the Ricochet off the top rope. Well, he springboarded or whatever. So yeah, he also, you know, mentioned Samantha. Ooh, that's not very good. He said she's going to be saying my name at the end of the match. That'll suck for Ricochet if he loses. But Logan Paul, as much as I don't like the guy, he needs to win. He's only won like once, I think, right? Against Miz. Oh no, the tag match at Mania a couple years ago. Yeah, okay. Logan Paul has a couple wins. Have him lose to Ricochet. Ricochet needs some wins too, okay? But yeah, that was a fine opening segment. Logan Paul was kind of an interesting choice to open up Raw. Fans were booing him. I like it. Very nice. You know, he said something that kind of made me smile and chuckle. He's like, I usually don't waste time talking to brain dead people. It's like, dog, the people that watch your videos are slightly brain dead. I mean, not to be a Maverick hater. If you're a Maverick, if you love Logan, like what you like, I got no problem with you. But let's be real, Logan's content ain't for the high IQ people. You know, Logan's a bit of a silly goose, especially all the times he's done some silly goose things. You know, if he stuck around for that, holy, you know, more power to you, I guess. But anyway, we're moving on. What happened after Ludwig beat Matt Riddle? Nice little finishing sequence, you know, solid little end to a match on Raw, I thought. You know, because Raw is usually like 50% promo, 50% wrestling, video packages galore, but 2 video packages, because they're gearing up for SummerSlam, I get why they're trying to like spend more hype on building matches than just the matches on the show for the people. I get that, because this was the go-home Raw before SummerSlam. And they had 2 incredible video packages. One was a bit dramatic, and I guess you could tell who that package belonged to. It was Cody and Brock. Some sad, sappy song. Me and my friend were laughing at the first half. We're like, oh, this is going to be so corny. But low-key, it got really good. It was like a really good video package. But, you know how Cody is. He's a bit of a drama queen, you know. But we love him. Adrenaline in my soul. And then also the other video package, Ronda and Shayna, MMA rules. I don't know what that's going to be. But their video package was very good. Shayna being like, I was the first person besides your sister and your mother, I think she said. Or something like that. Your husband and your mother, I think that's what it was. But either way, she was the third person to hold her baby. And she's like, I love that kid. But that kid's never going to forgive me for what I'm going to do to her mother. I'm like, oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god. Bars from Shayna. And Ronda did okay too, I guess. So, nice video package from them. I don't know what the MMA rules is going to be, but that video package definitely made me more excited for the match. At first, I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. But that video package really, like, did something. So it did its job. Good stuff. Let's see. I think we had... I can't remember everything because it was Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw is always, like, a blank for me. Oh, yeah, Shinsuke and Ciampa. I love Ciampa. You know? No one will survive. I love it. And Ciampa lost, bro. He lost because Shinsuke did a roll-up. I think Ciampa's lost every match since he's returned. And if he isn't, like, losing every match, he's getting, like, beat up by Shinsuke, I think, because he interfered in his match, got Shinsuke disqualified, then got kicked in the head or something. So, what the hell are they doing? If it wasn't for LA Knight, I'd want Ciampa to win the Slim Jim Battle Royale at SummerSlam. But it's got to be LA Knight. But I've been saying it's got to be LA Knight for the past couple months, and he's lost almost everything. Well, that sucks. It really does suck. So we're moving on to face-to-face action. Brock Lesnar, he's like, what? The crowd was just whatting every other word he said. Poor Brock. He's already been there for way too long. So he calls out Cody. This was interesting. I love singing Cody Rhodes' theme song, the Whoa. That was loud. That was nice. We even got to do it twice. And Cody came out in his little t-shirt, shook Brock's hand. Outside dive. All right, we're about to have a brawl. Go home show before SummerSlam. Well, besides SmackDown, they're gonna go crazy. Maybe referees are gonna pull them apart. Nope. Cody just got his ass beat for like the third, fourth time on Raw. That's what he did not even stand a chance. He got like one move in, which was a suicide dive. Got F5'd and destroyed, and that sucked. Got hit by the steel steps. That was a bit depressing. It's like, yay, we're excited for Cody. It was me and my friend's first time seeing Cody Rhodes live, because the two AEW shows we went to, 2021 and 2022, he wasn't there. So yeah, we didn't see Cody, but the first time we did get to see Cody, he got his ass beat. And he said he was going to embarrass Lesnar at SummerSlam, so yeah. They didn't add a stipulation to their match, which sucks. Like, 3 singles matches, fine, sure, it's all about the emotion and the story and whatever, but yeah, at least put like a no DQ, something. They should make it a no DQ match, since they love using them steel steps. Don't make it a stairs match, for the love of God. Eric Rowan and Big Show already one and done that stipulation, but make it a no DQ. That way Brock can use the steps all he wants, then Cody maybe trips him, like, oh, Cody comeback, Cody wins. That's what I'd like, but I don't know if they're going to add a stipulation to that match. But we got Gable. Earlier tonight, we saw Maxine Dupree get her first singles win against Valhalla. Very nice, very cool. But later on, we see Gunther being like, you're an embarrassment, Gable. You suck. And we all know that Gable doesn't suck. He's fucking awesome. And he's funny. Thank you. So he's like, you're not going to last 5 minutes with me, little guy. And then Gable's like, bet. Shoosh. I'm going to send my boys to the back. You keep yours boys in the back. And they did keep all their boys and one girl in the back. And what a 5 minutes it was. It was nice to see Gable hang on. And Gunther was like, all right, you lasted 5 minutes. I'm pissed AF. We're going to finish this damn match. I'm so glad. I don't know what my voice just did there. But I'm so glad that we got to see Gable versus Gunther. That's a match I've been waiting for. I knew they were going to do it eventually. And it was a solid, it would have been better if it was a full-on, like, normal match, but there was a bit of a gimmick attached to it at first. But then they got some back and forth good action in. Very much enjoyed that. Probably my favorite moment of the night. So yeah, Gable lost, obviously, because Gunther's not taking any L's before SummerSlam, and he's probably not going to even take the L at SummerSlam. But Chad Gable said he'll see Gunther after SummerSlam. Whoa. He did last 5 minutes. And if that's technically like what the match was, 5 minutes, if Gable can survive, he wins. That technically means that's somewhat of a loss for Gunther. Like, I know it not really, but in a way, Gunther got handed half an L right there. So I think Gable deserves that shot, and I want to see a Raw main event, 20 minutes, 30 minutes even, Gable versus Gunther. I want to see it. I don't think Gable will win, but be cool. I might trick myself into thinking he might win, like the Thea Hail and Ilja Dragunov situation, but he probably won't win. Because Gunther's holding that shit for a while. You already know. And let's see what else was in the show. Main event was a tag match, Rollins and Zayn versus Dominic and Damian Priest, Senior Money in the Bank. Finn Balor shenanigans. At the end, a lot of shenanigans, actually. I don't know what was like on commercial and what wasn't, but Judgment Day wanted to, like, almost walked out, like, 3 different times, and they had to go brawl on the stage and get back in the ring. Damian ends up hitting the Razor's Edge, and instead of pinning Rollins, he's like, well, Finn, we got him down and out. Hand me that briefcase, buddy. And Finn's like, okay, sure. Irish accent. He hops up on the apron, and, you know, he hands, whatchamacallit, he hands Priest the briefcase. Priest is like, hey, ref, cash it in. And Rollins kicks that sucker into Priest's face. And then Rhea's like, hey, that wasn't nice. And then Dom gets fucking nailed with the briefcase. He runs in, Rollins picks up Damian's briefcase, just chucks it at him. Dom sold that like a cartoon character. Holy shit, that was fun. Sami Zayn, Haluva kicked the Finn Balor off the apron. We get a stomp to Damian Priest. Uno, dos, tres. Rollins and Zayn win. Fun tag match main event. Not like the most technically sound main event or whatever, but, you know, Judgment Day shenanigans. And then a very nice, like, final minute of the match, I'd say. I like that a lot. Then after the show went off the air, Sami Zayn and Rollins, I uploaded this as well to YouTube. Go check that out. They had a little sing-song session. They don't do dark matches after the show, I guess, which that sucks. I wish, you know, because now we were only there for like an extra 15 minutes. Because all they did was like, sing Sami's song. Yeah, sing Sami Zayn's song. And we're like, gladly, ole, 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 ole. And Sami's like, nah, sing Rollins' song. We're like, okay, whoa, 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 whoa. And, you know, it was all fun, but it's like, you know, when I went to SmackDown, the first show back after the pandemic, or after the Thunderdome era, they had like a battle royal. And that was fun. I believe Big E won that, and then he, you know, it signaled that he was probably going to win that ladder match at Fort Worth, which I went to that too. That was very nice. That was very nice, very nice. But, you know, it's whatever. I'm not complaining. I just wish we would have gotten, like, a fun little dark match segment. Maybe Cody Rhodes. We could have actually seen him wrestle instead of get his ass kicked. But it's whatever. So, yeah. One thing I will say, not to be an asshole to any wrestling fans that were at the Toyota Center. NXT Great American Bash. Lovely smelling arena walking back. No issues. Had a nice chat with my friend going back to his car. Toyota Center. Maybe it's because the hallways felt a bit smaller. Maybe because there was more people. But some of y'all were sweating. Some of y'all were smelling. I made sure to put deodorant on because, like, even though I don't smell bad most of the time, you know, I'm like, just in case, I'm going to make sure I smell at least, like, kind of good. That way, you know, get that ick wrestling fan smell that people talk about. I've never had, like, ew, this guy stinks at a wrestling show, but my friend texted me mid-show. It's like, I bet it smells awful in there, because, you know, he's not a wrestling fan, he's gonna make silly jokes like that, but you know what, holy shit, what the hell, man. I guess it was maybe, like, because the lights were pointed at us in the nosebleeds, so if you're sitting up there, you got a bit hot. I started sweating a bit, but after a while, that shit washed away. You know, that sounds weird, washed away, yeah, but I felt it getting hot, but I wasn't, like, dripping sweat or nothing, but damn, walking into the hallway, bro, holy crap. But yeah, that's Monday Night Raw added on to NXT Great American Bash. NXT cleared Monday Night Raw, but that's because it was like 2 hours of just wrestling and stuff we already knew it was going down. Raw was mainly to build SummerSlam and a couple fun little matches. But hey, we got to see Gunther versus Gable. That's my little early Christmas present. They're gonna go back to Houston, Texas for their live show, house show, holiday tour. Boo, I get you gotta do your live shows and your little house tour and holiday whatnot, but give us a Raw SmackDown, and if not, maybe give us a pay-per-view. I don't know. You know, last pay-per-view Houston got, what the hell did Houston get? They got the first SmackDown back after pandemic. They got the Raw after SummerSlam last year with, I think, that ladder match. It was like Rollins, Big E, something and something, maybe? I don't know. No, Big E was injured. So who the hell? It was like Rollins, Kevin Owens, and a couple other guys. I don't know. But I don't know when the hell Houston last got a pay-per-view. Houston's a big city, guys. Come on. We have NRG Stadium. That's like 70K. That's like enough for WrestleMania. Please? Thank you? But that's going to do it. I don't know what videos are coming out this week. Instead of a nice, well-thought-out ranked or top 10 or whatever video this Friday, I'm going to keep it simple because I've been uploading videos the past couple days. We're going to do some SummerSlam predictions on Friday. I usually do it Thursday, but we're gonna do it Friday. So yeah, day before SummerSlam, if you want to hear what I think's going to happen or who's going to win, check that out. Sunday, the day after SummerSlam. Maybe I should do a SummerSlam themed tier list. I don't know. I can't think of a tier list idea right now, and I don't want to do something random. I like to make it SummerSlam related. But whatever, maybe a tier list Sunday. If not, guaranteed predictions on Friday, and next podcast will obviously be on SummerSlam 2023. But I hope you enjoyed this Great American Bash 2023 and a little bit of a Monday Night Raw rundown on this podcast. Episode number 7. We're going to be at number 8. The Ocho. Maybe we should make it a Chris Jericho themed? Nah, it's going to be SummerSlam themed. But I will see you when I see you. Goodbye.